Hello and welcome to another episode of Vanilla City Skylines, where we are building up the city of Oakhaven. In our first episode, we worked on building out our 9-square start to the city, with a large city park in the center, with the focal point being the cathedral. Today's episode, we are going to build the first real industry. Pay no attention to this mess over here, which we are going to focus on fishing. So the first thing that I'm going to have to do is we're going to have to buy this tile that is out over here on the coast. I think that'll be the only tile we'll work with for today. So to get to our fishing, we're going to go to garbage and industry and over to fishing industry. And as you can see, this map has a lot of tuna, which the tuna specialized harbor we do not unlock until we have caught 2 million fish. So what we're going to do to start this off is we're just going to place down some fishing harbors. These aren't going to be the real ones, I promise. We're just going to temporarily throw them down and have them go and collect some fish by drawing in some routes. And there's no need to be particular, because right now we're just trying to unlock a building. And apparently you can cross these. As I discovered in the testing of this, you can actually cause these to cross, and maybe we're going to have boats crash into each other, maybe we won't. I don't know, I don't care. Because we're not sinking real boats by doing this. So let's come in and we're going to hook in some temporary water pipes. And they're going to need some power, so we'll place down a couple of these just to make sure that they're nicely powered up. And these are going to complain at us about not having enough customers for the fish, which is understandable because we're not hooking them up to anything. But what we're doing is we are getting the fish to get caught before we build out our actual harbor. So let's check on our route efficiencies. That one's 100, that one's 100, that one's 100. Cool, cool, cool. So while that's going, I want to work on building up a new neighborhood over here. And what we're going to do is we're going to have this come out at a 45-degree angle. Of course, it doesn't want to do that. But there are ways to make it do it. Come on. I wonder, what if we came here? This thing obviously likes being difficult. Alright, now let's see where we're at. So we kind of have our 45 degree right here. But it's really well established on that other side, and I think that's going to be the important factor. Cool. So let's make sure that we went out by 20 on either side. This is going to be temporary. And I'm guessing that means that we have unlocked two of our first harbors, which our first two harbors will unlock at 300,000, which unlocks the salmon fishing harbor and the anchovy fishing harbor, which we do have a fair amount of salmon, but I don't particularly like the way these two assets look. So this one is the salmon fishing harbor, and it doesn't look a whole lot different from our starting harbor. I mean, yeah, it's a little bit nicer, but as soon as we hit the 2 million fish, you'll see just how much nicer the tuna and shellfish look. Alright. So for this neighborhood, we're going to work on getting in, hopefully, getting in some of our University City assets. I think here we may want to... Yeah. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to come down here just to get a little marker of where this is going to arc to. Because we will eventually have a small forestry industry over here. And we want to make sure that that is nicely marked out. Uh-oh, did I screw something up? No, that's right. That's right. Cool. And so we're also going to come in right here. Where our 4-lane road for this square is going to intersect, and I believe we have that again. Yes, it's right here. We'll deal with that when we get there. Alright, so what we're gonna do for this is we're going to, kind of like we did in Minoqua Bay, is we're going to come here with a gravel path just to line this. And I think we're gonna get rid of that particular intersection. And we're gonna let this be a slightly longer street. I'm going to come behind it with a forestry fence. And then we're going to take our oak trees right down the street in somewhat of a straight line. Somewhat evenly spaced. It may not be perfectly evenly spaced, but yeah, who's complaining? I don't think it'd be perfect in the real world either. Let's go ahead and make sure that we have our water hooked in. That could be very, very important. So the main University City assets that we're going to be focusing on are 3 deep. And these are going to be 3x3 assets and 2x3 assets. So we're just going to kind of zone those in with 1 tile in between. Just kind of sporadically zone them in. It doesn't really matter. And we want to make sure that the assets that are coming in are University City assets. So this right here would be a University City asset. This one is not. This one is. This one is not. That one's not. That one's not. That one definitely isn't. And if we were trying to make a neighborhood that was supposed to be a lower income area, we would just go ahead and historical these level 1 buildings, but the level 3 and level 4 buildings that come with University City are really, really nice. And this this neighborhood, I think, would benefit from having those assets. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in. We're going to use this gravel path in between all of these houses. And we'll come back with our forestry fence behind it once we get these zoned in. And I think we'll let some of the vanilla assets spawn here. We don't, because there aren't a whole lot of assets that we get in the university city, and we do want to have some semblance of diversification within the looks that we get of these houses that are going to come in. I wonder what that sound was. Yeah, so we have unlocked our shellfish and tuna, I believe. Yes. And so just to show you how much nicer this is, let's just place this down. And you can see that this is a significantly nicer looking building than this, and we already have the tuna. We could, and I did experiment around with this with the shellfish fishing harbor, which is also a super nice asset, but when I went in and did that, it created a lot of flooding problems because, you know, you would think that the tuna would be the one at the deepest, but no, I have to literally drop the floor of this by like 1.5 miles to get shellfish for some reason. So we'll come back to that harbor in a minute. Well, more than a minute. What we're going to do is we're going to continue building out this neighborhood. So let's see, we want, I think, 7 tiles. That should do the trick for us. We're going to come right down the center here. And remembering that these are going to be 3 deep instead of 4. And we'll just kind of sporadically say, okay, this one's going to be 2, this one's going to be 3. Maybe make that one be 3. They're all going to be 3s, except for these. So these corners are going to be 2 by 3, and everything else is going to be 3 by 3. That works for me. And now we're just going to mass zone that, and we will see what we get out of that. So what I also want to do is I want to start thinking about park services over here so that these buildings can level up. I'm thinking that's probably not going to work as I intend for it to, because of how many tiles that is. Okay, that's fine. We can make do. So we're still going to come down by 20, and I think we can just make this be what we were doing. That is totally fine. You know, come down here and make sure that we have those paths put in, along with these fences. No! No! That's not what I wanted to do! Alright. So this is just a rough idea of what we're going to be doing with this neighborhood, and I think right here, let's figure out what this distance is. So this distance, I believe, is 7, or whatever that is. So that should be a perfect 45-degree angle, and it is. So now we're going to create another one of these little blocks. And we're going to box this in. And this is where we are going to place down about a community school. Community school that just doesn't want to line up properly. That's fine. That's fine, we can make do. So let's come off of road guidelines for a bit. We're gonna go ahead and forget to give these people water. Whoops. We're gonna pretend I didn't do that. Do we need more garbage service? Yeah, probably. Do. So let's just drop in some more recycling centers because we have more than enough money. And I'm thinking over here about a large playground. And we'll make this just kind of be like a school park. We might actually want to come under road guidelines for this. And now we're going to come around with our forestry fronts. Let's just come to angle snapping. And just kind of fence this in a little bit, I think. Here, and come along here. And there, that'll be a nice, nice little area, I think, to help get these houses to start leveling up. So what do we think about maybe bringing in a dog park here? I think that could be really nice. And then we can come along there with our path. Maybe we can even bring in, I don't know, maybe a tennis court. Come around here. Box that in. Let's see what kind of zoning we're playing with. So this will be 3x3 zoning, and I believe this one will also be all 3x3. No. This one is mostly going to be 2x3. And that is totally fine. Whoops! Alright, so let's see who all has leveled up and how they've leveled up. None of these have leveled up. Well, not to where I want them to be leveled up to, at least. Yeah. That could be kind of nice, I think. Let's go ahead and make that one historical. I kind of like that one. And let's also make sure that our assets are facing the correct direction. So this one needs to go... This one needs to go... This one needs to go... I think all that will be fine. Let's see what you look like. I mean, it's an okay asset. It's not my favorite. But you know, this is all in the spirit of creating a realistic-looking neighborhood. And I think one more thing that we might want to look into adding is, what do we think about maybe a public library? That could be nice. And then come in here with the... Aw, really? It's so close. It's so close. It's only off by 1 tile. I don't ask for much, but really, that's just mean. Ooh, I wonder. Do we have... Nope, we unlock it at 4,600. I don't think a pool would really be going next to a library anyways, but we will definitely look at adding a community pool into this neighborhood at some point in time. Let's come down here again with our oak trees. Not bad. That is ugly. That is like Merriam-Webster definition of ugly right there. I don't really like that one. Alright. So let's also think about this side that the neighborhood is going to have. We want to... Do we have road guidelines on? No, we don't. So we're going to want to turn those on. And let's try to mirror this as best as we can. I'm thinking that's probably going to be our best bet, so that we can get a nice smooth curve. It's not perfectly mirroring this road, but it's pretty close. We're gonna continue to come out off of road guidelines. Just to get this neighborhood hooked in, to help us really finish it out. I think this is probably... We want to make sure that we're hitting this road guideline as we come out. And curve that. And that'll be very nice. That will be very nice indeed. So, heard some people leveling up. Let's see what we've got. That's level 2. We'll let that one stay. That one is level 1. We'll let that one level up. Yeah, so that'll just take time to level up. Alright. So now let's go ahead and come in and get rid of all this. And we also are going to want to get rid of these fishing routes that we built. Just our little dummy routes. And yeah, I'll go ahead and delete all this out, and we will be right back as soon as this is cleared out. Alright, so we've got all of our fishing routes deleted, and now what we're going to do is we're going to create a low setting harbor. So what we're going to do is I think we're going to come out to maybe this layer right here. We're just going to terraform out where our harbor is going to sit. And this is just a rough estimate of what we're going to want it to look like. And of course, our game mechanics just love to have water flood everything. Water is so temperamental. Alright, So now that that water is starting to recede a little bit, let's come in and make sure that we are hooked up nicely with our road guidelines. Let's come here. We're going to use these dirt roads just to map out a small little harbor. I think I may want to increase the size of this a little bit. That way we're getting a pretty decent amount of fish in. We're going to come here as well. And then out. So that'll be the rough shape of this harbor. Alright. So now what we want to do is we're going to find a level that we want our water to come in at. I think we'll come maybe there, wherever I've just clicked. That will be the level of the water in this harbor. Let's go ahead and terraform some of this out too, because we want to have a place for our fish market to sit. Since we already have a bunch of tourists, you know, I think it would be a good idea for us to have a place for them to come and purchase some of the local industrial goods. Of course, these keys want to be difficult. They always want to be difficult, so I think what we're going to do is we're going to kind of push this out just a little bit around the edges of these dirt roads, and well, maybe not that much. We're going to see if that will allow it to come in, and it will. As usual, the water is being super temperamental. So we'll say maybe a 2-tile difference between that. We'll get rid of that. And I think we can possibly line this up, yes. Well, there is a shoreline there. I don't know if the game knows this, but there is a shoreline there. So where is it saying that it doesn't exist? It's saying it doesn't exist right there? Okay. Temperamental is this game. Alright. So maybe what we should do is we're going to come out just a tiny bit more with our terraforming. We're just going to come out wherever this lets us. And that's going to be it. Alright, so that's going to be where it is. Cool. Alright, so now to avoid any extra confusion, what we want to do... Oh, actually, let's come out a little bit here. Create a little bit of a barrier with the harbor. Oh, come on. I don't ask for much. Oh, this I don't like to think I do. There we go. And we'll just come straight out there. So that'll be fine. And now we want to push this up against the keys so that we're seeing the key walls and not a bunch of gross terraforming. All right. So now what we're going to do is we're going to build in with our regular 2-lane road. And we want to get as close to the key as we can. That... Why? I would love to know why that happened. Alright, you know what? I think that's probably not where we're going to be able to place that anyways. So let's place in our tuna harbor. Sits really nicely on that. And now we want to get one that lines up a little bit better with our grid. And I think that looks fine. That actually does not look bad. Alright. So now comes the real fun. Getting this snapped in. And finding out that it's not even... Come on. Let's try this again. So we're gonna come to about, I think that's where it was. Let's try, nope, not there. There we go. Alright, so now we have that in and we still have our grid problems. That's fine. That's fine. I'm just going to pretend that's not a problem. We're just going to pretend that it's not there. And we are going to just move on. So I'm thinking we can put our fish market right here by the water. Let's try to get it as close as we can to this key. Come on, work with me. There we go. That'll work. As soon as I place it down, everyone's like, yes, we have a fish market. Alright, let's come off road guidelines then. Now that we have identified what is being a little bit of a pain in my butt. You know, I almost... No, we don't want to have the walkable keys here. I mean, could you just imagine a sim just walking along this and then just walking straight into this? That I don't think would be very pleasant. You know, I think this would be a great opportunity for a unique building as well. And we unfortunately do not have a statue of fishing, so I think... Should we go with the statue of wealth? Lungs of the City, helicopter park. Yeah, I think... Let's not get carried away. Let's definitely not place in one of these giant skyscrapers. Yeah, I think we'll go with... Oh, I haven't checked the landmarks. But I think Ooh, boat museum. This boat museum could go really nicely right here. That could be a nice addition to this harbor. What do you mean there's no... Fine, no boat museum. You win. But yeah, so let's actually, before I get distracted anymore, let's go ahead and build in these routes. So we want to make sure we have a nice long route for this tuna so that it can catch as much fish as we can get out of it. And for the tuna, we're wanting to stay mostly in this blue. And that's going to be what allows us to get the most tuna out of this. While I'm thinking about it, we need to get rid of these screwball water pipes. So now we're going to come in and get them under the road where they belong. And we're going to hopefully connect all of the power through once we place down our Statue of Wealth. Let's see where we're at. No, we still need more. Okay. So I think what we can do is we can come just right behind it. We're gonna have to create a little park out of this, and that's fine. I think that's gonna be about where we're gonna have to place it. Just kind of hug along as much as we can. Alright. And so now let's just get a little touch of commercial in here, and that may be enough to sink the power through, and it is. Very nice. So let's see what commercial assets are coming in. No... This one's fine. That one's fine. That one's fine. That one's fine. Little ice cream shop of pennies. Not you. So let's see how good we did on our routes. Not seen it, but it appears that we will be either at or close to 100%. Yes, we are at 100% on both, which is very, very nice. So we will be selling a lot of tuna in this town. That's just gonna be our town specialization, is tuna. So now I think we're gonna come here. Let's try to expand this out a little bit, because I really want to have that boat museum. We'll get rid of that road. Just temporarily. And see if we can expand this key out a little bit. We can. Now let's see. It's not going to be super finicky this time. Good. And we'll just kind of create this curve and hook that in. So now we should be able to get our boat museum. Let's see if that is close enough. Is that close enough that you're not going to complain about not being hooked up to the road? Yes, it is. Maybe this does need to be a walkable key. And maybe we need some parking lots. Maybe we need some parking lots. So let's set up a little micro district again. Which I would absolutely love to be using my own custom parking lot assets, which you can create in the asset editor, but unfortunately, and console players, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't believe people on console are able to use the asset editor. So we will respect that discrepancy so that they can also recreate this city as they please. And we will do this the absolutely painstaking way of using green cities. Not enough buyers for fish. Do we need a second fish market? I know we're going to have to build a fish factory at some point as well. Hopefully this helps to get some buyers for our fish. Alright, so while we're letting that operate, let's come back over here and check and see what we've got. Not seeing the asset that I really want. And that's because nobody's up to level 4 yet. Ooh, I love this one. This one's so pretty. So pretty. But you're just gonna have to keep leveling up and hopefully get less ugly. This one, I really like that one. And I'm really focusing on trying to get ones that I think would fit within the parameters of early American architecture. Because that is, after all, what this city is based off of, is an early American city. Jeez, we are selling so much fish. So much fish. Alright, but we do need to increase our housing. So I'm thinking here we're going to let the houses be of some different shapes. And along this curve we don't really have space for the paths, but we do have some natural separation built in. Let's make sure we're all facing the correct direction, which you are not. Yeah, that's a fine building, I think. So now let's come around and make sure everyone has water, because water is important, I guess. And yeah, we're going to want to go ahead and fill in this path as well, I think. So now let's find our road guideline and connect to it. On this side, we're not going to worry too much about having these path connections, because we can landscape in different ways. We'll have some 2x2s, a couple more 2x3s. 3x3, a couple 2x3s. This is some really weird zoning fractures, but you know, I think that'll be fine. You know, it's not going to be of major concern. Alright. Why did you abandon? Not enough workers? And here I was hoping they abandoned for being the wrong building. Let's place some fencing along this road because I really don't want to have any zoning along this. And we can also have a nice nod to the forestry industry that we're about to build and have quite a bit of forests in here. I think would be really nice. I think it'd be a really nice touch. I'm just gonna come down here with our fence, and once we get to our detailing, we'll just create a nice boreal forest around this, I think. But I really want to get this up to 4,600 in population, so let's go ahead and keep zoning. We should be able to get there. So on this side, I think we are going to use our paths. Just to kind of separate out the zoning. And hopefully this little batch of zoning will be enough to get us to our population milestone. So that we can finally go through and can add roads with grass and roads with trees, so that we don't have the situation where you see all of these parked cars and they are literally everywhere. We don't want to have that. That's not what we want. And we also don't want any of those assets. You know what, I think we could also add a nice little touch of commercial here as well. That could be really nice. Yeah. There we go, we've got one. I wonder, what other assets could we get over here? Because I think there's one in... Yes. We placed in a couple of piers. You know, just to... I don't like this one. So we'll get rid of that one, because I don't like it. We have a roadside diner? What? Why am I just now learning about this? I think that's a really nice place to put that too. Arg. There we go. And I think we will come behind it with some boreal pine trees. Add a path here, add a path there. So much car traffic. There's so many cars. We're gonna have to get some public transit coming through. Which, actually, I wonder what our traffic flow is looking like, which... Considering that this does not... Oops! It's what I always forget. always the damn water. Okay, don't abandon your houses, please. I gave you your water. I gave you everything you asked for, and nothing more. Let's clear this out. And hopefully, this next batch will get us there. Let's put in some gravel paths and oh dear. This is some interesting zoning. So we'll do 2x3s, some 3x3s, and another 3x3. I guess we're gonna have a 2x2. Hopefully we get some good assets in here. I think I want something different. Yeah, there's a... I guess this one's probably going to be the one that levels into it, but there's this really nice asset that's... It's kind of like a Georgian mansion that I really want to have in this neighborhood. And it's a... I believe it is a 3x3 level 4 asset from University City. That's the asset that I'm really hoping to get. So let's see how our fishing places are doing. They're still collecting way too much fish. So perhaps what we can do... Oh, do I want to do that though? I'm scared to get rid of all this generic industry is the thing. And, I mean, I would put the fish factory over here, but, you know, the other unfortunate news is that it creates pollution. And I don't want to have any pollution around this area, or really anywhere that's not specialized as industry. Yeah, I still have a cough. But I at least sound better than I did last week, I hope. So I remember whatever that last video was, when I listened to myself, it just made me regret not getting my flu shot. Let's see, where is it? Because I know there are some piers that you can get in this, and it has to be placed in a park area. But this is considered roadside. And so is this. And this is all, you know, in the spirit of decorating our waterfront. Making our waterfront as appealing as possible. So I think what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to zone in some more residential to get this to work. And there are some nice 3x4 assets that you can get as well. We'll let those pop up over here by the library. Oopsie! Another oopsie. And there we go, problem solved before it became a real problem. So let's see, who is University City and who is not? Both of you are University City, the rest of you are vanilla. Oh, we need more water. Do. What's our water budget look like, though? It's 150%. Okay. Alright, so then we will place down another water tower over here. just temporarily so that people can have their water. Water can be important, I think. Can sometimes be a matter of life or death. And in City Skylines, it is a matter of whether or not people stay in their houses. Speaking of life and death, how are we looking here? Let's get some luxury hearses going around. I think we'll probably have to add another block here. Let's do the same tactic that we had. So right here's the 2x4, and then everywhere else is 3. Rip. Moments like that where you really wish that City Skyline had an undo button. But unfortunately it doesn't. Let's see if I do it there. No. I have to do it here. Or option B, and just hear me out on this. We're going to create this block. Going to create this block. No road guidelines. No road guidelines, please. Some road guidelines, please. So maybe this comes far out enough, yes, that we can use our curve road tool. There we go. That's what we were looking for. And now we can finish out our zoning of this neighborhood. You know, one thing I really don't like about University City, and I'm sure people have complained about this a multitude of times, but you know, when I paint a district, like let's use this one for example, over here in the start of Oakhaven. University City is a content creator pack, and I cannot select it, even though these are zoned buildings. I can select European Suburbia, Modern City Center, Mid-Century Modern, Heart of Korea, but I can't do it with University City, and they zone in with the regular vanilla assets. And I used to think that it was you know, only once you've placed down a university, but apparently that is not true, because these right here are University City assets, and we haven't even unlocked the university yet. So there's a little discrepancy in the story that we have been told. But it still doesn't make a whole lot of sense for me not to be able to say, hey, I want these specific assets in this neighborhood without having to go through, you know, a mod that I'd have to download on the Steam Asset Shop, which, even though I play on PC, I really make it a point that all of my builds should be accessible to anyone on console as well who doesn't have access to the mods. And no, it's not my computer. I have a great computer. My computer literally loads my cities up in like 2 minutes tops. And every other laptop I've had, except I think maybe it was the Dell that kind of crashed on me a few months ago, where the motherboard got fried, and that one, I think, for the larger cities would take like maybe 5 minutes at most, but when I had my Acer Nitro for this game, it took a minute. I think the worst that it ever was like 30 minutes, which is like really obscene. But yeah, I could use mods, and I really choose not to, because I think you can get a lot out of the vanilla game if you are willing to be patient and willing to pull your hair out. Really? Oh, we are so close to 4,600. You know what we're going to do? We're just going to go straight down this little block. Well, these 3 blocks, and I think that should get us to 4,600. And as soon as we hit that 4,600, we are going to have some grass roads. Because I'm tired of seeing all the parked cars on the street. And while it sometimes can be an aesthetic, it's not my aesthetic. It just isn't. I don't like looking at it because it's messy. Yeah, I don't know why I just did that, but whatever. You know, we're just making sure that all of our future citizens that move in have access to water. I wonder, is this a place where we can have that? Oh, that's right. I forgot. That's what the problem was with that. Never mind. 91, 85, 86, 91. There we go. And now we have unlocked sightseeing bus tours, the leisure and tourism unique buildings, the tourism specialization, some new policies, including free public transport, encouraging biking, forcing electric cars, filtering industrial waste, along with a whole bunch of roads. Oh, look at these new buildings. Look at all of these new buildings that we've got, including the office skyscraper. Which, yeah, that should definitely be unlocking right now. Yep. Uh-huh. That's totally a thing. Now, another thing that I don't think I mentioned that we unlocked is, we unlocked, what is it? We unlocked our fish farm. That's what we unlocked, was the fish farm. Not that we're gonna have a place to put that in this tiny, tiny marina, but we unlocked it. So let's see. Jet ski rental, fishing tours. Ooh, a restaurant pier. That could be interesting. Let's see what's all in this. Restaurant pier, a marina, jet ski rental, fishing tours, and a fishing pier. So what if we place that fishing pier, a restaurant pier, maybe a small marina? Okay, maybe not a small marina. That that ain't gonna cut it. Nope, 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 nope. So we already have the restaurant pier and the jets. What does fishing tours look like? It looks like it's way too high up. Let's see here. What about We're not playing beach volleyball. We've already got the fishing pier. And I think the jet skis are going to have a similar problem for some reason. Let's go ahead and make sure this is what it's supposed to be. Oh, you have to have road access. Okay. But I think I like this. Let's maybe move it over though. Let's get some space. And now you got people fishing off of this pier. You know, I really kind of like it. I kind of like it. Alright, so now let's do what I said we were going to do. We are going to come in roads with grass. And we are going to say bye-bye, cars. But we also need to make sure of which ones we're putting the grass on and which ones we're not. So the ones that are part of the outside squares, the main 9 squares that we did, those are going to remain those small 4-lane roads. But all of these other roads that divide up the squares are going to be grass roads. There we go. And I think, what if we did some of these as bicycle lane with grass median? What are you complaining about? Would you rather have it with trees? Okay, apparently they would rather have trees. Okay. Whatever. We'll do it with the trees then. But what trees will we do it with? Will we do it with the boreal pines? Probably not. What about the generic pines? Yeah. That looks nice. It's not too overbearing. So basically, what I'm going through and thinking about is our longer streets that go across the blocks. Those are the ones that I want to have with the treed median and the bicycle lanes. Where the other ones, I think we're going to leave, like these smaller ones that only go a fraction of the way through one of the blocks, I think we're just going to leave those as grass without the bicycles. Well, actually, no, we do want to have a nice bicycle network, so let's come in, make sure that these are upgraded. We definitely want to come in and zone the rest of this. Let's see what our traffic looks like now. Yeah, we're slowly starting to come down as more people are coming into the city and we are increasing our traffic. So more than likely what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to create some kind of an arterial road system. As you can see, there's a ton of traffic that's getting caught here. And throughout some of these other junctions as well. So let's figure out who needs to be what. So our main 9 squares, those are going to be traffic lights. Everywhere else is going to be a stop sign. We're going to put these traffic lights in. We're going to put these... No, not that one. This one. That's the one we want. So it's all about making sure that traffic is flowing the way that it's supposed to. Put a traffic light there just because it's going to end up needing to be one. We'll let all of these be stop signs because that's what it would end up being anyways. That should probably be a stop sign. That should be a stop sign. That should be a stop sign. Actually, these should all be 3-way stops. And that should help with our traffic. And it made it worse. Oh well. Yeah, we can figure that out in a later episode. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and finish out our zoning and jump into some detailing, and we will be right back. Thank you all so much for watching, and if you haven't already, please go ahead and like and subscribe below. We've got quite a bit done, I think, today with our 2 fish markets. our nice harbor, and our second neighborhood, which we will continue to go through and be very selective with the houses that we're spawning. Which, like I said, we need to get some of these houses up to level 4 in order to get the specific asset that we are looking for. And hopefully next episode of this I can show you exactly what the asset is that I'm looking for. But that just about wraps it up for today. So now enjoy a brief city tour.